Good morning, students. So once again I welcome you to my video lectures on network analysis. Now today in this class I will continue with the mathematical representation of phasors. Now there are four methods of representation. So phasor numerical value is represented in four forms. The first two are more popular. The first two are more popular than the last two. So only for the sake of understanding the rules of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, we have to go through the last two methods. Otherwise, we have to restrict ourselves to first two forms: Cartesian form, polar form, exponential form, trigonometric form. Now first I will take up Cartesian form. So Cartesian form is also known as rectangular form. Now in Cartesian form, phasor, as you know that you have divided the plane into four quadrants, and this is A, this is JB, this is minus A, this is minus JB. Now if phasor is positioned like this, this is what is called as horizontal component or the component on real axis, and this is what is called as the component on imaginary axis. In Cartesian form, we represent it like this: A plus G. Because here positive value of A, positive value of B, that is why A plus G. If it is positioned here, then it is represented as minus A plus G, because A is going to become negative and still B remains positive. And if it is positioned like this, then this is of the form minus A minus G. And if it is positioned like this, it is represented as A minus G. So the first one is what is known as Cartesian form, and it is represented like this. So A is also a number, B is also a number, but A is on real axis, B is on imaginary axis. So we distinguish the numbers by associating a J notation. J means it is what is called as mathematical operator. J means that component is perpendicular to A. So this is A. JB component is perpendicular to B. So in order to indicate B component to be perpendicular to A component, we use J notation for B. This is what is called as Cartesian or rectangular form. Next is, second one is what is known as polar form. Next one is what is known as polar form. Second one is polar form. In polar form, again, we have divided the plane into four quadrants, and the phasor is like this. Now this length is say m, and this is what is called as orientation. This is what is called as orientation. Always orientation is compared with this axis. So m is length of the phasor, phi is orientation. As you know that phi is measured in this direction, taking into plus sign. So this is plus. So polar form, we represent it as mod m angle. It can be plus phi or it can be minus phi. So always this is called as mod value. So it is always positive, because the length of the phasor may be in any quadrant, but it is going to have a definite length and it is going to be taken always with positive sign. So mod m, phi can be plus or minus. In this case, phi is plus. For example, the same phasor, if it is positioned like this, then we have to indicate this as mod m angle minus phi. Now for example, a phasor 10 plus 150 degree means you can represent this using what is called as polar form. In polar form, 10 plus 150 degree is represented like this. At an angle of 150 degrees, at an angle of 150 degrees, because it is plus 150, in this direction 150 degrees, take a length of 10 units. So then this phasor is what is called as 10 plus 150. For example, if this phasor is at an orientation of 30 degree below horizontal axis, then it is 10 minus 30 degrees. So this is what is called as polar form. Polar form. This is also a popular form. The last two forms. Now next is the third one is what is called as exponential form. Exponential form. In exponential form, it is represented like this. In exponential form, for example, phasor is like this. Say 10 units at an angle of 30 degrees. So it is represented as 10 e power j pi by 6. Pi is 180 degrees. So 10 pi e power j pi by 6. So this is an exponential form. Exponential form. For example, if it is like this, for example, say this angle is 225 degrees, 10 units length, then it is represented as 10 e power j 225 degrees. So you are supposed to convert this 225 degrees into radians. So then you have to write in this form. This is what is called as exponential form. Normally this is in radians. So convert 225 degrees into radians. So this is what is called as exponential form. So the last two forms, only for the sake of understanding the rules of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, we have to understand that. Otherwise you need not have to go into details of exponential form. Next, this exponential form is also useful when you come to signals, when you study signal subject. In Z transforms also we come across this exponential form. Last form is what is known as, trigonometric form. Trigonometric form. Fourth one, trigonometric form. In trigonometric form, again, this is a phasor. This is a phasor of 10 units at an angle of 30 degrees. So horizontal component is 10 cos 30 degrees. This one. Next, the vertical component is 10 sin 30 degrees. Now trigonometric form, again 10 cos 30 degrees plus j 10 sin 30. So you have understood the four methods of representing the phasor, the numerical value. The last one is trigonometric form. Now we shall, in the next class, we shall restrict ourselves only to the first two forms, Cartesian form and the polar form, and conversion from rectangle to polar and vice versa, polar to rectangle. Thank you.